Greetings and salutations to all of those that are interested in our little festivity with going to Italy this year. If you'd like to see how we start this trip, it's going to be with packing. Our house just happens to be a disaster right now, but we'll deal with that when we get home. In this room, we have Jeff's mess. Clothes ready to go, socks, pants, shoes. And then in the guest bedroom, which is this way, we have my mess. I happen to be taking disposable underwear so that I can throw them away to fill the suitcase with lots of nice gifts for all my friends and loved ones. And that's the end of this segment. Papaw, get ready to fill up the vehicles to head to the local airport.
Taking each other's pictures. Let's go, let's go.
Hey, y'all. Nobody wants to
say hi, Grant.
Hey, Chloe.
Hey, Grant, say hi.
That's so cute.
He wanted a banana.
Hey, Grant.
Hey, y'all.
Stay here.
Decided to stay here.
We all stay here.
I don't think so.
He's already pressed the point of no return.
That's right. When he walked,
He was already talking about flying again last night. He's thinking about going to Paul.
I was gonna say.
Go.
We're now in the Huntsville International Airport. We're going to find out what everybody's looking forward to the most in this trip to Italy. We'll ask Papaw Blue first. Papaw Blue, what are you looking forward to the most out of this trip?
What about what?
What are you looking forward to the most?
Getting over it.
Just getting over it. Okay. And Mama Blue, what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to the whole 10 days.
The whole 10 days.
Yeah.
And Miss Kathy?
I knew you were going to. Let's see. I am looking forward to just seeing all that stuff. All of that I've been reading about.
Yeah. And using some of your, what is it, new vocabulary?
Sorry, sir.
See.
See?
No capiche.
No capiche.
That means I don't understand.
Yeah, I think that's the same in every language.
What?
Let's go over here and ask Laura what she's going to do.
Hey.
This is Laura Ray. Laura, what are you looking forward to the most out of this trip? Eating food. Good. And this is Brenda here. And she's doing the same thing we are with her video camera. Brenda, this is Papaw. What I'm gonna miss about being gone is these nice massages. Brenda, what are you looking forward to the most?
I don't know.
Eat.
Yeah, there you go.
See that wine.
Look for that
That concludes what everybody's looking forward to in the trip. Next stop that we'll have will be in Atlanta. Paul, I have a question for you. What are you looking forward to the most out of this trip?
Rest and relaxation.
Getting back.
This is Memo and Papaw getting off their first lot. Here she goes.
All right, come on, Papaw. There he comes.
Where are you going today? Always folks back here?
We're all together.
Yes. We are now in New York, and if we look over here, we can see Brenda in the beer line. And over this way.
Which agent you just got out of?
And my mom and okay, I'm just trying to go. This is what it looks like when you get off the plane. Here comes Mama and Papa Blue off of the plane. And Brenda and Dale. Welcome to Italy. Welcome to Italy, Papa Blue.
On the ground again.
Right now we're at the baggage claim. Everyone's trying to get their things together so that we can go and find our hotel. You notice everyone's got red hats on. That's what the group gave each person for this tour. Check out.
Another thing about the way things are done over here. ATM machines are available everywhere. They are called, however, with a different name all over Europe. It's a brand name somehow. They call it bancomat. Bancomat, with one word. That means ATM. And this is a tricky little thing. Whenever you use the machine, it's very useful because instead of lining up at the exchange office of the bank, you just draw with your PIN number, that's what you need, and you draw out of your account whatever.
Okay.
We just arrived at our first hotel. We're really sleepy and we're ready to get some rest, but they advised us to only sleep for an hour. So we'll try not to sleep much more than that. Okay, here we are. We're in our first room. We had to get one of the ladies outside to help us get in. We couldn't figure out how to open the door. But once she let us in, we got to walk in and see the room. Here's what it looks like. All honeymoon style. We do have a TV. Looks like we have a refrigerator. Oh, with some goodies in it. But they told us not to eat them because they're expensive. And then we have our bathroom. We don't have bath cloths, that's considered a luxury. But we do have a bidet. We'll see what's next. Buongiorno and welcome to Rome. This is day 3 of our trip and day 2 in Rome.
Now we're going in our hotel. And this is the waiting area, I guess. We're going to
workout coming up through these steps. See the people waiting to see what we're going to see.
And the museums in the back.
Square pieces of the marble.
Did you know when they are?
These are tapestries. And here, so this is.
The tapestry you have in this side, they were hand-weaved in the northern part of Europe, Brussels. That's where the important manufacture used to be. And then
These are biblical pictures woven into the. And the ceiling is flat. It's three-dimensional. Looking, but it's flat.
should we do stuff?
Fine, sir. Yes. Oh, I'll bet. Yeah. I can see where you sell tickets.
That stuff that looks three-dimensional, it would all look like carved.
When we have an opportunity of looking out of the window at 50 acres, and the gallery we are entering inside, gilded statues, a whole group of artists, they painted the silk. They are restoring it. You see the net, you see the scaffolding, so they are redoing it. Back.
These are the Vatican gardens.
Considering that they are
Sistine Chapel.
I thought it was Mount Etna.
These are tapestries which are 15th century, but the other they were 16th century. So look how flat they are. Look at the faces, more or less the same. Very dark colors. Not we are touring around the next room and we are going down.
Wow.
Entrance is neat up here. You go out the
Do it. We're coming out of the Sistine Chapel. That's what that was.
You are going down along the royal staircase, built by Filipini, 17th century. In the staircase, if you look to the left, when the road
Now we're leaving the chapel and going out into St. Peter's Square.
door, which is open to college. Holy door. And when you start here, they open that door, and the third place, the visitors of the church, they enter St. Peter's through that door.
Angela's way. Restroom is
This way.
I have seen that picture.
That wasn't your one.
This is St. Peter's Basilica, the largest church in the world.
St. Peter's Basilica.
See the goods, mosaic into the lunettes, mosaic over the
Sorry, ci siamo salvati.
Stay with me.
Yeah, me too.
Because next time, that's it. Next time,
God of John 23rd, the book we had from 1863, what was called the Good Book, the book Walk in the Wind, on the back.
I think it was a statue. the body of John the 23rd. His name is under the middle of this thing. This is the dome over Peter's tomb.
Forward if you want to see it. There are no toes anymore. Right, that's what we said.
The battery's about gone.
Michelangelo built a dome, 400 feet high. The dome was built by him, and it took 25 years to build it. He died at 89 while he was building this, and the dome was
This is St. Peter's tomb. Hey, yeah. Hey, Laura. In the Vatican now.
Senate and the people from Rome.
It's the Tiber River.
SPQR, there were the Roman letters that Roman legions took to the conquest of the world. SPQR to eat. On the right bank, plenty of restaurants, flea market. Is a very typical old part of Rome. To the left-hand side, where you see that square dome, is the main synagogue in Rome, built in 1904, Assyro-Babylonese style. The synagogue was built over the 4th century synagogue in an area that later on was called Ghetto. Rome, Holy Father John Paul II went and concelebrate with the Rabbi of Rome, asking also forgiveness from them. You see early Rome, 600, 700 BC, was held here on this side of the river. A large market was held. Boarium Forum, the cattle market of ancient Rome. Olitorium Forum, the fruit and vegetable market of the city. So 2,700 years. Look on the left, the theater, Marcellus Theater, started by Julius Caesar, 2,000 years old theater. Over the top you have a 16th century family palace. The theater is older than the Colosseum that we see later on. The theater is the first time they use this architecture of arches over arches. To the right, the Capitol started building the monument or commemorates all the soldiers who died in the first, so enormous. It was nicknamed after the Second World, commemorating the unification of our country after 1500 years of being split up in small different states. Italy is again one, ruled by one king. Do you remember the balcony from where Benito, Italy entered the war in 1940? Just a little bit before you entered. You entered in 41? Oh, poor man. He was a good socialist. The help for the women, pregnancies, sport for the town. Can you see the slab of marble here on the grass? This was put there by the Allies, by the American army, after the 50 years of the end of the war. And we are crossing the Roman Forum, the heart of ancient Rome, the business, religious center of the city. At the very end of this road, you have the Colosseum, colossal work, colossal building. Ancient city, 10 feet to 30 feet below the level of the city of today. New ruins are found all the time and enlarged by different acres.
Yes, the air conditioning is on, but you can open or close the vents overhead, the little wheel.
Now we're on the road to Anzio.
And it will cool down quickly when we are stationary, standing in one place. They don't.
This is St. Mary's Basilica.
Residential district that I mentioned just now, where they had so many fires. So this is the Roman Forum on the right, you see, and the square building on the right is the Senate House. Of course, everything was covered by marble facing, marble slabs. So everything that we now see in bare brick used to be covered by marble. So it was a lot more beautiful and spectacular than we can imagine just by looking at the ruins. We really have to now. And everything covered with this beautiful marble facing, everything covered by white and green and orange or yellow, antique yellow marble.
This is the monument at Nettuno in Anzio.
These poor guys will never get off their knees.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, on three. Three.
Now don't move because some of us couldn't get it yet. Maybe I'll.
And move in.
Budget.
Okay, say cheese.
What's the matter with this thing?
Cars and big cars. On the early morning of 22 January 1944, as the U.S. Navy was offloading the 3rd Division and other units, one ship's captain, equal to Army Colonel, looked up in the sky early that morning. He saw the constellations in a certain manner. He jotted them down. After 40 years later, when the architects were building, they decided to take his journal. From his annotations, the zodiac was reproduced in the dome of this chapel to reflect how the stars were on that early 22 January 44 morning.
General Santos right there.
And this is the Mediterranean Sea at Nettuno. And that's Andio over there.
Hey y'all. Isn't it the Mediterranean Sea?
So we're gonna get in it.
This is the beach, the museum in Cassino.
Can you zoom
I
in?
believe this is Nettuno. Yeah, he
Zoom in on them guys in the kangaroos.
Okay. There it is. Well, I got it really good.
Naughty girl.
There's the girls down there in the kangaroos too.
I love kids.
So many pieces of
I'm sorry.
You landed on the yard, at the pier.
Here?
Yeah, you didn't land there.
No, I didn't land.
Oh, you were not here.
Yeah, I was
There's cuddle in there.
Oh, really?
Snooping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mine detector. Yeah.
Taste of some sort? Or? So you have what you have in it.
All ready. Okay, I'll take a look at it.
When I get back to the hotel, and we're going to a great restaurant tonight, and I hope they have plenty of scotch left, which I doubt. I could spend a lot of time. She had quite a couple.
Could be anybody. When Clinton was here. Oh, in a speech here. Oh, it's John Sherman. The past president of the 30th election.
So this is the Basilica of St. Mary. We are near.
Greetings. We're on our way to Mount. What is it called?
Monte Cassino.
Monte Cassino. It is day 4 of our trip and day 3 close to Rome.
And that's Monte Cassino.
Way over there.
Slopes as well as the ones below us on the left. This because of this very important symbolic meaning, the monastery.
Questa è iniziata nella If y'all are wondering where we are, this is a monastery at the top of Mount Cassino that was bombed during the war and rebuilt. It's huge. Angela said I need to narrate, and she's right here and won't talk, so I'm talking. She said this was going to be boring, and now she's ignored me. Carol! Say something.
Something.
Here on came the camera.
This is the twin sister, Scholastica. She was very important. She was the one who wanted the Benedictines to have always a library in their monasteries to preserve the books. And all we know about antiquity is thanks to that lady. Because all the books the Benedictines kept in their monasteries were the books that told us about Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, and all those people. So it's extremely important, that lady. The monastery is a complete, perfect reconstruction, but it's a reconstruction. As you know, it was literally wiped to the ground. As a reminder for the people who tend to forget this, that when they rebuilt the monastery, they kept whatever bits of stone they could put together. And this is pilaster here, as you can see, doesn't look in good shape. That is original stone. Everything else is brand new stone in the 50s. This was built in the 50s. Everything. There are some pictures of the bombing. I think in our group there is a gentleman who has them, and you can tell there was literally nothing left. Just everything was a pile of rubble. So all these statues were no longer there because that Captain Becker had moved them over to Rome. The manuscripts, the artwork. However, if you go into the church, which was completely destroyed also, now you go up to the church and you see that it's in good shape. The decorations inside are beautiful. Those are marble decorations which were done after the war. Luckily, we still have the people who can do that, the artisans who can do that. Also remember that the Benedictines were self-supporting communities. Their motto was ora et labora, pray and work. So they had to be able to do everything. And you see that the decoration all around there, you see religious symbols, but you also see tools necessary to work. You see straight ahead, over that arch, the pliers and the hammer, for instance. Next to that you see the cross, maybe, or the Lamb of God. So that is to show the life of the Benedictine community. And in this respect, they have a great relevance for the people living in the areas around the monastery. So they taught those people how to do things. Remember, when the barbarians destroyed Italy and the rest of Europe, they literally destroyed everything. So the Benedictines come after the barbarians' destruction. The Benedictines are the ones who not only spread around the Christian religion, but they also maintain the knowledge of accumulated in antiquity. So again, not only the books of the ancient writers, but also the technological knowledge, how to do things, how to build, how to work the metals. All that knowledge was preserved by the Benedictines. They were very important, really, to the European civilization in general.
What is this?
Just a view.
Of what?
Io
I believe this is the Papaw cemetery. Soldiers that died here. The Papaw are the ones that finally captured this hill.
Watch your step.
7 miles from here.
This is a great vineyard.
First we get was a tank. We left that.
And this is the original entrance with cattle in the way to the alley. Feels like very cold. Don't even need air conditioning. You got anything to say?
The air is very cold. This used to be the front entrance. Did you already say that?
We have an echo. This is the view from the top of the stairs going into the church. This is the inside of the church. I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of dark, but it is very pretty. That's the dome. Looking back toward the front. And this is the altar or the front of the church. Following Angela and Laura down the hall. Don't know where it is, but it's I'll fall down. Now we're following him back up. And that is all of the church. Just to make sure I got this done, Angela wanted me to make sure I got it. I think I did. Okay, this is right outside the church. There's Laura and Angela. This says museo, which probably means museum. It's a museum of Monte There's Kathy. Well, we got stopped because it costs money to go in the museum, so now we're going out of the museum. And now we're fixing to leave, and this is the garden where we first came in. And here's an Italian bird.
We visited there.
And now we're leaving. And there's Kettle and Laura.
We're ready to narrate.
And they're ready to narrate. So
Look at this beautiful scene. There's nothing else like it in the world. It's green.
It's green. Looking back up at the Abbey and out across to the hills nearby. And here's our bus.
Behind me is St. Mary's Basilica. This is our 4th day and our 3rd trip, and this is going to wrap up day 4. St. Mary's Basilica. Tonight, or actually early in the morning, we'll be leaving Rome and heading for Florence.
For a piece.
Hang on.
And what she forgot to tell you is we'll be going to the Leaning Tower of Pisa on the way. Before we left, we had to come see the Colosseum, and here's Angela to tell us about it.
This is the Colosseum, like is in the movie with
Gladiator.
Gladiator. They simulated most of this. Some of it's tore down.
This side is still complete.
We're gonna walk around and look at it now.
And they're in the process of cleaning. It kind of looks dirtier. But this was erected about 40 years before Jesus was born. And here we are. Hey, Cuddle.
Hey!
Don't know how good you can see it at night. This part is the part they have cleaned. Don't know if you can see that good or not, but anyway.
One thing that we've learned while we've been here is that in order to get past traffic like this here, we learned this from one of our tour guides, you have to walk right smack out in front of the cars and hold your hand up like this, and then they stop.
Crazy drivers in Italy. And this is the ruins of something right next to it. And the Arch of Constantine, I believe. And here's the edge. Trying to focus. Here we're looking around to see if we can see a hole to get in, because we're not going to be able to have time to tour. But the inside's pretty much falling apart anyway, so got some pictures in the book. This is the part where the outer walls fell down in an earthquake 700 years ago. So this is the inner wall. And this is the side where the outer wall is falling down. This is the short side of it. Pretty huge to have been built that long ago. And if you can hear the horns in the background, that's Italy. They like blowing the horns and riding close and tailgating like we've never seen. Hey, Chuck.
Hello. They also are tooting their horns because they're celebrating some kind of big soccer win. They're real big into soccer like we are football.
Yeah, bigger. Their soccer team won the championship and they got flags and crap everywhere. They've been partying for a couple of weeks now, I believe. Gregorius. Don't know what that is, but that is on the outer wall. And this is where the outer wall begins on this side. As you can see, it's pretty big. You can see the flag is the soccer team flag. And the cars are very little.
Tell them how late it is.
It's 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. Pretty busy traffic. This is right next to the Colosseum.
Snack areas.
This is a snack area. Which there's a lot of these around where people like to eat on the side of the road. We've had quite a few of these, and we almost got to see a wreck. But it's amazing that they don't wreck the more than they do. Because they drive like maniacs. On scooters. Going in between cars and scary stuff. Some has the lights on.
Okay, we just realized that coming this close to the Colosseum and not touching it is about like going to the end of our road and not touching Parker Road. So Jeff's touched it, but he's going to go back and touch it one more time for us. He's got his hands on it, both hands.
That's good. Okay, now Angela's going to touch it.
Touching it, touching it, touching it.
And she has set the Colosseum. They even have big dogs in Italy. You can see it. Now we're walking back to our room for our last night. Good night. This is how the scooters have been out of traffic, if you can see them going down there. And they're stuck, but they're wanting to get through. This is one of the most popular cars. It's huge, ain't it? And this is our street, where our hotel is. Norfolk's going to be brave and cross traffic. And these are some of the buildings about where we're staying. Old and big. And this is the back of St. Mary's Basilica. Really too close to it. But this is on our road, right down from our hotel.
Hey, did you know that Rome was the first city to have 1 million people? We learned that tonight.
Okay.
Did you know that now there is between 4 and 5 million people in Rome? And I really wish that each one of them would give me $1.
Okay.
Buongiorno. We're in Rome. This is day 5 of our trip, day 4 in Rome. And this is what we've been eating for breakfast every morning. Here we have bacon that looks like it's been steamed. And then eggs that look like they have cheese in them, but they really don't. Croissants, boiled brown eggs. Chris, you would like this. This is like a potted meat. And honey. And little things of cheese. Yum yum.
Fruit. What Laura's got. She's ate all hers.
That roll's too big to eat all of it.
Too much.
Io ho appena passato la televisione. Ah, bye big fountain. That was a scandal when they inaugurated that fountain because of all the naked bodies, you know. It was about 100 years ago. That's the youngest of the many fountains of Rome. And then finally we get to Pisa. One look to the right, the wedding cake,
We went to that
the Roman Senate, the Forum, the ruins of the Forum, the Basilica of Maxentius. Ma queste case possiamo rallentare appena. Look at the 4 slabs, marble slabs on the right. They show the growth of Rome, starting from the left. The white stone, the white marble, you see, gets at different times of the empire, of the history of Rome actually. At the very beginning you see only the white dot in the middle of Italy, then a larger area, then a bigger one, and then at the time of Emperor Adrian, the biggest extension of the territory, Grazie Arminio, and which was the largest of all the empires of antiquity. It included the whole of Western Europe, large portions of what is now Eastern Europe, North Africa, the Near East, as far as Syria and Turkey, etc. And in the northwest, the British Isles, with the exception of Scotland and Ireland. The Scots and the Irish were a little too tough to chew even for the Romans. So they built a wall up there, Adrian's wall, you know, across. They were a little too tough even for the Romans, I guess. But also Ireland, they never got into Ireland. Thank God. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, they will seal off this entire area. This downtown section will be completely closed to traffic. No cars, no vehicles, nothing. The people coming for this celebration have to walk. That's the least they could do. And I hope they pick up the garbage after they leave. They probably will not. You see, and they're going to meet in this valley over here on the right. Well, they are happy with very little. I mean, they just want a title, that's all.
What are they gonna do?
In front of us, the building, the white building, Basilica. Here on the left, actually, is going to be in front of us. The feeding of the cattle, of the animals. And also the seeds of sunflowers are very rich of oil, so you can make sunflower oil with the seeds. And it's like corn oil. In Italy we use that oil for frying, for instance. And so we see Tuscany, for some reasons, has the right type of climate and the right landowners who own the very large expanses of land. But the average guy, the farmer...
These are umbrella palm trees.
Are made famous by one of the poems, the best known of the poems, by Carducci, the poet I just mentioned. You see here, look, to the right, all the way up. Ever since antiquity, cypress trees have meant welcome. Look, see, from here all the way up, it's a few miles, up to the slopes of those hills, to the village of San Guido. Ever since antiquity, the cypress trees have had the symbolic meaning of welcome, so that's why you see them along the highways or the roads, the lanes, country lanes going into a villa, into a farmyard, and so on.